This happened in 2015. I drove a few hours out to a remote forest to hike up to an abandoned fire lookout tower. I'd been wanting to explore it for a long time. Technically, going inside or camping there was illegal. The structure wasn't maintained and could have been unstable. But from what I'd read online, most people said it was still standing fine. The only problem? The last post about it was 3 years old. I had no idea what I'd find. I parked in a shallow ditch off the side of the road, grabbed my backpack, 2 days of gear, and started hiking. There was no real trail, just dense forest. I relied on a handheld GPS and pushed through brush and uneven ground for nearly 5 hours. The deeper I went, the rougher it got. By the time I finally saw the lookout peeking above the trees, I was exhausted. Up close, it looked surprisingly intact. The paint was peeling, but the beams felt solid when I tested them. The metal ladder creaked as I climbed, each step echoing in the silence. At the top, the view was unreal. Endless forest, no roads, no buildings, nothing but wilderness stretching for miles. Inside, the lookout was tiny. One room, maybe 150 square feet. A rotting bed frame in the corner. An old desk beneath decaying windows. That was it. I laid out my sleeping bag, heated up a small meal, and watched the sunset from the ledge. It was one of the most beautiful views I'd ever seen. And then it was gone. Clouds covered the sky. No moon, no stars, just darkness. About an hour into the night, I noticed something moving below. A light, but it wasn't a flashlight. It flickered with a dull orange glow, like a torch. It moved slowly between the trees, not far from the tower. That didn't make sense. There wasn't even a trail out here. The odds of someone else randomly being this deep in the forest at night were almost zero. I watched the light for several minutes. Then it slipped behind the trees and disappeared. 30 minutes passed. Nothing. The wind picked up and I decided to head inside. That's when I looked down. Someone was standing at the base of the tower, just standing there, looking up at me. "Hello?" I called. No response. We stared at each other for what felt like forever. Probably only 10 seconds. Then they slowly raised a hand, almost like a quiet acknowledgement, and walked back into the woods. No light, no sound. I convinced myself it was another hiker. Maybe they just wanted to see if the lookout was occupied. Still, something felt off. Eventually, I went inside and managed to fall asleep despite the wind rattling the windows. I don't know how much time passed before I woke up. It was still pitch black, and I heard it, the metal ladder creaking. Slow, steady, climbing. I held my breath. It creaked again, and again. Someone was coming up. My heart pounded as I unzipped my sleeping bag and stepped onto the ledge. The creaking grew faster, like they were hurrying. Then it stopped. Silence. I rounded the corner to the ladder opening. No one was there. I leaned over. The ladder was empty. For a moment, I just stood there, confused, frozen. Then I heard footsteps sprint across the wooden walkway behind me. I caught a glimpse of a dark figure moving past the windows. I didn't hesitate. I dropped onto the ladder and started climbing down as fast as I could. The metal was slick. My hands were shaking. Halfway down, I saw a head peer over the top, watching me. I hit the ground and ran. Through the woods, with my flashlight and GPS. I didn't stop until I reached my car. I don't think I was followed. I drove away. And I never went back.